Hello, my Teaser family. How are you, everybody, today? Here for week 14 of the NFL. Wanted to do it because Thursdays I tend to do it too late and we miss the Thursday game, so I don't want to do that. I actually like the Thursday game for a change. Um, Now we're seeing a lot more of, okay, we got the real team. We know the trends that are meaningful in 2021 and 2020 and 2021 trends are good. A ton of injuries. Some players like Russell Wilson's back. Derrick Henry's gone and Brown's gone. So Tennessee's in big trouble. The new quarterbacks, we can see if anybody's any good. And now we get down to who needs it. Really not a lot of back against the walls meaningful, but there are teams that need the game, certainly. Different spreads. It's really bad coaching. Really, too many coaches go for it on fourth down at their own 30 and pass up field goals for it and go for two and lose games like Baltimore against Pittsburgh. What was their thought process? Kick the extra point, tie the game up. What are you doing? Why are you going for two to win it? I mean, because if you don't make it, you lose it. If you make it, it's overtime, and at least you didn't lose it. But who am I to guess these wonderful coaches that none of them are any good? Okay, let's go through the line. Just looked at it. This is up to 2 minutes ago. Minnesota 343.5. Kansas City 9.5, 48. New Orleans 5.5, 43.5. San Francisco 1.5, 40. I think 43.5. Because Joe Burrow's hurt his finger, so he's questionable. Tennessee's 8.5, 44. Cleveland 2.5, 43.5. Carolina 2.5, 43. A lot of 43s this week. Dallas 4, 48. Seattle 7.5, 41.5. Denver 7.5, 42. San Diego 10, 43.5. Tampa 3, 53. Green Bay 12.5, 43.5. Arizona 2.5, 52. Now, I read something this morning. I'm not sure that it's official, but I believe it is. My man Jake Frum is now a New York Giant. Apparently, Buffalo rather lose with Josh Allen than win with Jake Frum. And he apparently is going to be starting for the New York Giants this week because Jones is out and Glennon's got a concussion. So he's the one, as far as I know, and it's only Wednesday, going to start Sunday. If he starts, I am putting a strong bet on the Giants in 16 against San Diego. I'll tell you that. I said the same thing about Kellen Moore. He was great at Boise. He goes on to the Lions, backs up Stafford. The Lions lose with Stafford. Finally goes to Dallas. Prescott, I think, wasn't there yet. And Dalton or somebody got injured, Romo or somebody. He comes in and plays one game, throws for over 400 yards, and breaks his ankle. And that was the end of Kellen Moore, but not because he couldn't throw. 400 yards. I was right about him, and I'm right about Jake Fromm. And we'll all see on Sunday if he does, in fact, play. Excuse me, for the Giants. I love that getting 10 with Jake Fromm's a joke. Absolutely. What he did at Georgia against Alabama and Florida and everything. I mean, I don't understand what the issue is. He's too small. He doesn't have the arm strength. Did you watch Joe Montana play? He didn't have any arm strength, and he was 5'10" or whatever. Or some of these quarterbacks, I don't really understand. How did he do so well at Georgia if he doesn't have any arm strength and he's too small? So, again, this is SEC, and he did very well, and that's what I'm basing it on. When you do good in college, you're going to do good in the pro. When you suck in college, Davis Mills, you're going to suck in the pros because you're not going to get better in the pros going from, like, if you suck, if you're good in college, Herbert wasn't that good, but he was okay. Joe Burrow was superstar in college. So you expect Joe Burrow to be a very strong pro, and he is. So that's what you're looking for, is that. So you've got that injury. Again, you got Cam Newton playing for Carolina. How are they favored? I have no idea. Dallas 4 over a hot Washington team. Let's go through the trends right now. Kansas City, Oakland. Kansas City's won 7 of the last 8. So it's a Kansas City trend. I think they killed them a couple of weeks ago. Tennessee, Jacksonville. Tennessee's won the last 4. The games I'm giving you are the games where they play each other in the division. So they play each other twice a year and they get a flavor. Tennessee's won the last 4. Baltimore, Cleveland. Baltimore's won the last 4. And they're the dog here. Atlanta, Carolina. Atlanta's 6-2. They didn't win the last 6, but they're 6-2. Dallas, Washington. Washington's actually won the last 2. Now, Prescott was out last year, probably when they played. Keep that in mind. Chicago, Green Bay. Green Bay's won the last 5. I don't understand why this spread's 12.5. I looked at the injuries. I don't know. It doesn't say Dalton's out. So, unless Fields is starting, I don't understand why Green Bay is 12.5. And then the Rams in Arizona. The Rams have won the last 4 in Arizona. Arizona is a horrible home favorite. They're good on the road. They're bad at home. Remember, I've told you that. So you think, they're going to kill them there at home. No, they don't play good at home. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the weather. They don't like the heat. It's an air-conditioned stadium. I don't know what it is, and I've never really seen a team that's strong team have trouble winning at home. New England with Brady, they had no problem. Tampa now with Brady has no problem. Green Bay with Rodgers, not a problem. I don't understand it. Very, very confusing. So let's walk through the games. Pitt, Minnesota. The trend is totally Pitt. Minnie's a lousy home favorite. Pitt's okay as a road dog. I like Pitt in the 9 there. Looking at it, Pitt's an under team. Minnesota's an even team. So I'm a little unique. I look at the stats for the whole year, not the last 3 weeks. I don't understand people that look at the last 3 weeks and get excited that they found the Holy Grail. I found the Holy Grail in the 80s, okay? That's the Holy Grail, and that's what you look at. You look at the whole year because you've got different matchups. Also, I want to clear up something. First of all, you can go over and under 0. There's no teaser law, and I've not seen any issue if I have a game -3 and I take it +3, or I go -2 to +4, which is actually a very good thing to do. Because I make my own lines, most of the time the 3s are really -7s that the line's wrong on. And so instead of laying 1, I'm getting 3. If you get over 3, it's a very good play. So I don't know where this started from. I don't understand it. It makes absolutely 0 sense to say, well, if the line's -2, I can't go +4. Or if the line's -4, I got to go +2. That's absolutely insane thinking. It's not real. I've been doing this, and I keep going back. I've been betting teasers since 77. I've won a ton of money on it, and I've never once thought about crossing 0. The only thing I do mostly in the pros is if I can't get it under 7. So if it's a 14-point line, I probably don't like to lay 8. But if it's 12, I'll lay 6. If it's, I like to get under 3 if I can, but there's no set rule. You look at the game. This is why I'm successful, and this is why you watch. You look at the game individually without a line. You go, who's going to win? What's the score? And I'll make my own line. And you think a team's going to win by 20 and the line's 10, and you get it down to 4, but you think, well, they're going to kill them. Who cares? I mean, just the fact you're reducing the line by 6 gives you a huge edge if the line is correct. By making our own line, we get the correct line, not the bullshit line, which is, oh, well, we got to make Notre Dame's line 3-point higher because everybody bets Notre Dame, and therefore, where the spread should be -1, it's -4 because we know everybody's going to bet Notre Dame, and we want fair. The whole goal of this by the bookies, by Las Vegas, is to get even betting. I want $1 million on the Bears and $1 million on the Packers, and I'm going to win $100,000. Now I'm going to win $150,000 because I've made the juice higher. That's the whole point of it. And they look for the line that's going to do it. So a team like Green Bay or a team like Notre Dame or Alabama or Michigan or Ohio State, they're not going to get even betting by putting the true spread. They're going to get even betting by making it going. We know a lot of people are going to bet Alabama, so we're going to make the spread different. Now you watch. Georgia was a 6-point favorite. They went from 4 to 6. The game, as we know, was fixed. They laid down. Alabama had their backs against the wall because they needed to get into the playoffs. So Georgia said, come on, we'll let you in. You're SEC, wink, wink. And so that's what happened. But you watch in the championship game. So if Alabama and Georgia play in the championship game, and I think Georgia will kill Michigan. I think Cincinnati can give Alabama all they want. What you'll get is Alabama will be favored in the game. You're going to go, well, how can they be favored? Georgia was 6-point favorite. And then you watch what happens when Georgia's the dog. Georgia will be a 7-point dog, and Georgia will win the game straight out because now Georgia will play because of the, because now they're not going to lay down. But I expect Georgia to beat Michigan. I expect Alabama to beat Cincy. And Cincy's going to be a little weird because it's their first time in the playoff. But I think Cincy gives Alabama all they want because they have the defense to do it. But it's hopefully not during the headlights. But this guy, they're going to play Ohio State football. Ohio State gives Alabama trouble. So just beware of that. Anyway, so when we make our own lines, let's go through our own lines. Pitt, Minnesota picked the line. After many loses to the Lions, I almost want to make Pitt the favorite, even though the game's in Minnesota. But let's say the game's even. Well, you get Minnie in 3, which means I get Pitt in 9 in a game that should be even. So therefore, I like Pitt. Pitt's an under team. Minnesota is apparently an over team because the Lions drove right down the field on them. So Pitt will do the same, but Pitt's defense is a lot better than the Lions. So you can play the game. I don't know. Do you play it over or under? It's hard to say. Minnie is a sieve with a weak defense. And as I say, so you've got a better team as the dog with a much better defense. So take Pitt in the 9. Oakland, KC. My line's KC -7. Oakland, I don't know. They played well at Dallas and then couldn't beat Washington. The real spread's 9.5. KC's playing strong defensively. Oakland's playing weak defensively. Even when they beat Dallas, they gave up 38, and then they couldn't stop Washington, who really doesn't have an offense. Kansas City owns the series. They're 7 out of 8, 7-1. I once had a debate with a guy in Vegas about I was 35-5 on my locks a couple of years ago. I was on fire. I was hitting 5 locks a week. And I said, I'm 35-5 on my locks. And he said, well, no, it sounds like you're not good. I go, what? Well, you should. I think I said I was 35 out of 40. And he thought it was 35 winners and 40 losers, not 35-5. So so we had a little talk about that. And I said, well, 35-5 is 35-5. Anyway, so that's kind of strange people you have in Caesar's Palace. So Kansas City's a little bit overspread, 9.5. Now, do we care about 3.5? With KC, I do. But so you have strong defense, KC, playing weak defense, Oakland, in a game that KC normally wins. So I think I like Kansas City, but I don't like the 9.5. I'm going to hope it goes to 9. But now, does KC have the back against the wall? They do from looking for number 1. They are winning the division. San Diego's right there. I've got the whole AFC West needs the game. Backs are against the wall. I just don't think Oakland can handle Kansas City like they handled Dallas. and then Washington they scored nothing on. So I like Kansas City here. I don't love the 9.5 down to 3.5. So try to get it 3 or under. Again, 3's a push, and in a teaser, a push is a push. It's not a loss. So if you can get it to 9 to 3, then I would say it's a better bet. If you get it under 3, it's a great bet. 3.5, I don't really like that number per se because they end. But the way these idiots go for 2, 3 isn't really a big thing anymore because they'll go for 2 both sides and they'll end up winning by 5 or 6 or 15 here. New Orleans and the Jets. My line's New Orleans -6, and I can't tell you why. Just because the Jets are so bad. I love looking at the Jets injury report, and I don't know anybody on the team. That's why they're so bad. The Jets are the Z team. New Orleans is an under team. Simeon sucks. Kamara is not playing. I think the only way you can play this is under. Now, the Jets apparently have a weak defense, but I don't think New Orleans can take advantage without Kamara. If Kamara were to play, I would love the New Orleans to win. Do they need the game? I don't. I think they do because the whole you've got the 4 division winners in the NFC, and then you've got the Rams at like 8 wins. Everybody else is at 5 and 6. So from that standpoint, New Orleans mathematically is still in it. The Jets obviously suck, but who knows which Jets team? The one that beat Tennessee, the one that beat Cincinnati, or the one that lost to Jacksonville, and the one that lost last week. This is the problem with teams like the Jets. I, however, think it'll be low scoring because New Orleans can't really score and has somewhat of a defense. And the Jets, I don't see it, but the Jets have a weak defense. So you have a weak offense, New Orleans playing a weak defense. If this was a better offense, like the Rams against the Jets, who they like to throw, then I would say they'd kill them. But because New Orleans doesn't, makes it, I think, an under game versus New Orleans killing them, unless you see Kamara play. If Kamara's playing, then we take New Orleans. And again, doing this on Wednesday, we don't know yet. You wait till Saturday. Frisco and Cincy. Cincy's the better team here. Cincy's a B. Frisco's an even. Now, according to my one customer, you bet the better team. That's it. That's all you do. That's all you need to do. Oh, my God. And these people actually bet on football. It's amazing. You don't bet the better team. You bet the matchup. You bet the situation. And every situation's different. You can't say Cincinnati beat Baltimore, therefore they're going to beat Frisco. Frisco's laying 1.5 because Joe Burrow's finger. If Joe Burrow can play and his finger is better, I love Cincinnati as a home dog, getting 7.5. However, if Burrow's out, then the bet becomes an under bet, which I can't read. I think it's 48 or 46 or 43. I don't. I'm sorry. Let me do my job and get you that line because I'm a good boy. I'm the professor. I got to take care of you guys. I got 48.5. Holy shit. 48.5. Let me write it neater. So you got 48.5 in this game without Joe Burrow. So if Joe Burrow plays, then we go with Cincinnati and 7.5. And you'll see the line change. If he doesn't play, we got to go under 54.5. Who the hell Cincinnati's going to have as their backup is not going to be Joe Burrow. Again, the quarterback makes a huge difference. So let's see what happens with Burrow. Again, that's a Saturday. Is he playing or not? Is he ruled out? So again, if he plays, it's take Cincinnati and 7.5. If he's out, we go under 54. Jacksonville, Tennessee. Tennessee's got their injury problems. Henry's out. Julio Jones is always out. And then Brown, the other receiver's out. So it makes it really tough. But receivers are easy to replace. Look at the Lions. They got guys that couldn't make college teams as receivers. And they just beat Minnesota with them. So I'm not buying the receivers. So I got 8.5. Tennessee's won the last 4. The big trend's on Tennessee. Tennessee's an E team. Jacksonville's a Z team. Jacksonville's got a weak defense. I think Tennessee at home. Lay to the 2.5, and there you go. I do like that. Over under a 44. I don't know what you do with that. I mean, it's hard with Jacksonville with the weak defense, right? Tennessee should score, finding running backs and receivers somewhere. So that's how I would play it. I would just I'm betting against Jacksonville as a road dog in a game that Tennessee normally wins. It's a division game, and Tennessee needs it. They're still in the lead over Indy, but that's slipping. They want the 1 seed, which is slipping to who's got it in the AFC? Kansas City's getting there. Buffalo, no, New England. I think here's your Super Bowl, New England and Tampa. If you can get a grasp on that one, huh? That would be a very interesting Super Bowl. I'd still take Tampa because of Tom Brady. Baltimore and Cleveland. Cleveland 2.5, over under 43.5. Baltimore's won the last 4. Just like Baltimore and Pitt, where Pitt had won and then Pitt won. Here you have Baltimore winning the last 4. Cleveland's laying 2.5. Both teams are under teams, good defense, weak offenses. Lamar Jackson is sucking it up. Pitt didn't let him run. See, when you play him twice a year, you get his speed down and okay, here's what we got to do to get him. And they kind of put a bowl around him. Don't let him scramble around. They sacked him a lot. Both teams have strong defenses. So one play is Baltimore plus 8.5 because Baltimore's won the last 4. The other play is under 43.5 to 49.5 because both teams have the injuries and both teams have the good defenses. And I think that's the way you play this game. Cleveland's playing a lot of under, a lot of running Chubb. Baltimore, they don't really have an offense. Their defense is okay. But Cleveland's offense is not going to scare you. So either way, the Baltimore and 8.5 is good. The under, I think, is a little bit better. Well, let's go back. Baltimore, Cleveland, what's the spread? You want Cleveland -3 because they're at home? We want Baltimore -3 because they got Lamar Jackson, the best player who's ever played football. Give me a score. I'm going to give you a score 20-17, and I don't know who's going to win. That gives you a 37. That makes it under. That makes the dog. So there you go. That's kind of how I look at it. Atlanta, Carolina. Atlanta's a W, means they don't score a lot. Their defense is weak. Carolina is an under, means they don't score a lot and they have a strong defense. You got weak defense Atlanta against strong defense Carolina without the running back who I never remember his name, McCaffrey. Oh my God, I remembered something. McCaffrey's out as usual. Him and Julio Jones never play. They just collect the paycheck. It must be nice. Cam Newton, he sucks. So Carolina's not going to score a lot. Atlanta, who probably can score. Give me a score 20-17 in this one too. I would favor Carolina at home by 3. They're 2.5. I like it. Atlanta is 6-2 in the series, and the trends are on Atlanta. Carolina is weak as a home favorite. So I like Atlanta at 8.5. And hard to go under or over with a strong defense playing. I mean, Carolina could score because Atlanta's defense sucks. But Atlanta probably won't score as much because Carolina's defense, you don't know where the score is going to go. And I say about 20-17 again, over under 43. I don't know, over 37, but with Cam Newton, where are you going to get points? So it's probably with Atlanta, they can score, give them credit, and then take them as the dog. Dallas, Washington. Dallas is a B team. They score fairly good, decent defense, strong defense. I got Washington really has a weak defense. That Washington Oakland game, I scratched my head. Both teams have weak defenses, and I consider a weak defense, you're giving up 27, 28 points a game, and in the NFL, that's pretty weak. And yet they held Oakland to 17. I didn't understand that. Dallas, Washington. Washington's won the last 2. Again, Dak Prescott was out. My line's Dallas -3. Real line's Dallas -4. I'm not aware of any major injuries. The trend is Dallas here. They're okay as a road favorite. Washington's weak as a home dog. Over under a 48. I don't know what Dallas is. Are they a high-scoring team with a weak defense? No, they're really a strong defensive team. They're really a B team, which they're a good team, better than Washington. Washington again before the last two Dallas ones. So with Prescott, the real play is Dallas. The score here, I think, is 30-20. Maybe Dallas wins, maybe Washington. I think Dallas wins 30-20 is my gut. So it's right about 50. Trends are on Dallas. Washington's been playing well, beating Oakland, who's not really good. So it's a real see. This is why when somebody tells you eye test, you tell them, what does that mean? What Washington did against Oakland is absolutely meaningless because the game was in Oakland about what they're going to do with Dallas. Washington and Dallas is not, first of all, it's in Washington. It's not the same as Washington at Oakland. So there is no eye test. Are they playing good? I don't know. You lost Chase Young and Sweat. How good are you? Is Oakland that bad? I mean, did you beat a bad team so you look better? That happens in college all the time. A team wins 52-0. The team wins 52-0, and you go, "Oh, they're a great team." Maryland does that. Maryland will beat Rutgers 52-0, and then they play Ohio State and Iowa. What do I teach you guys in that? Should I take Maryland over Iowa? And I say no, because Iowa's defense. And what happens? Iowa kills them. And that's the point. You can't look at – there's no eye test, right? The only eye test is like New England beat Buffalo. And you can say they beat a good team at Buffalo. That's about all you can say is, yeah, they're playing – but we know they got a good defense. It comes out in their stats. And that's really what you're looking at the stats for, to see over the whole season what's going on with this team. So I got them as a B. Okay, they have a strong defense. Well, they played – Philadelphia, Washington. They played Oakland, Kansas City. They played Kansas City to a 19-9 game. So, is that the eye test? They lost 19-9, or is the eye test losing to Oakland 36-30 on Thanksgiving? There is no eye test. It's all matchups. How are they against Taylor Heineke, against Prescott? Dallas needs the game. They don't need it in the division. They need it for the 1 seed. So the real good teams are hunting for the 1 seed. Green Bay, Arizona, Dallas, Tampa all need the game to try to be the 1 seed and get the bye. And that's critical. And the fact they took one of the byes away is ridiculous. Mr. Todd, good afternoon. How are you today? Fields is starting for Chicago. I like Green Bay 30-16. Yeah, the spread was so high. Now the question is why is Fields even on the field? Why is he starting? Why is he playing? Dalton's much better, which makes you wonder what the hell's going on. Like, why aren't they letting the coach? Because he likes Dalton. What was the score last week? Chicago. Chicago 33-22 to Arizona. They put up 22 on Arizona. Excuse me. I always seem to sneeze when I'm doing my show. Arizona is a very good defense. They put up 22. I guarantee you Fields would not have put up 22. So with Fields, yeah, I like Green Bay. We'll get to that game in a minute, but 30-16 sounds about right. I don't think the Bears get 16 because Green Bay's defense is very strong. And Fields, I don't know where they get 16 from, but I like Green Bay. Khalil Mack's out. They're a strong B team. They've won the last 5. I think it's not even that close. But let me get back to it. So, again, I think I like Dallas in the game. I think they need it. Washington's playing well. Okay, so they beat Oakland. Who did they beat the game before? Washington beat Seattle 17-15, and it was really a fluke. Seattle goes for 2. If they don't go for 2, it's 7. But did Washington play? So what do we got here? Is Washington's defense better without Sweat and Chase Young? Is this what we're saying? 15 to Seattle, and then against Oakland last week, it's 17-15. So they gave up 15 to Seattle and 15 to Oakland. Is Washington's defense that strong? Let's go back one more week. Let's look at the eye test. Let's look at the eye test. Washington's eye test. Carolina put up 21 on them with Cam Newton. Okay, so there ends your eye test. I don't know what happened in the game. Now, what do we know? We know the refs are horrible and fixing games right and left with holding calls that are non-existent and the pass interference when the guy runs and the ball's thrown into the stands, but no, he impeded it. We're going to call pass interference, or the worst call, the Josh Allen. I'm tackled on the way out of bounds, but I'm still in bounds, and it's a personal foul for hitting the quarterback who's out of the pocket running, and now he's a running back. But no, he was near the out of bounds, so we got to call personal foul on that. What a bunch of horseshit. So we don't really know what's going on. We don't really know who's the fixer this week. Usually it's if the line goes from 4 to 6, like the Georgia-Alabama. The line goes from 4 to 6, so they go, well, we need Alabama to win because all the money's going on Georgia. And that's usually what happens. That's usually the way to tell the fix is when the line starts jumping like that. And the line moves because of the bets. It moves because of the money. Unless there's a serious – like if Joe Burrow – is out, then the San Francisco line will move to 3 because of the injury. But otherwise, nothing else happens. The line moves because of the bets, because they want to balance their books and have equal betting. So Dallas, Washington, again, I think Dallas scores on them. I don't think you're going to hold Dallas under to 15. I got Dallas in the upper, let's say 28-20, which is a 48. So I think the prudent play here is Dallas or the over, maybe the over a little bit more. Washington, okay, with 2 games in the 15s, there's still a weak defense, and you've lost your best 2 players, and they're playing 15. So I don't know what's going on. Dallas with a strong defense. Pressure Heineke. Again, they play each other twice a year. So it's a big battle here. So be careful with this game. Seattle-Houston. Seattle's an under team. Houston's a Z. What's a Z? They suck, but they suck with Mills. With Tyrod Taylor, they're a little bit better. What did they do last week? 31-0 to Indy. Okay, well, Tyrod Taylor, I thought he's going to make a difference. You're right. Indy's just playing very well, and again, it was Indy had won they had won 6 out of the last 7. So Indy plays Houston very well. If that's the matchup, not the eye test. What you got here? Seattle -7 was my line with Russell Wilson. Now, did Russell Wilson figure it out? He puts up 30 points on the Niners. Thank God. What do you think? Is he now back? Are they now there? They're out of it. They got to win the rest of their games. Maybe, what do they got? 14, 15. So they got 4 weeks. They win 7 games. They're really not in the playoffs. So, but Russell Wilson's playing, and Coach Pete, they play to win. They don't fuck around, not like most of these teams. I think Seattle -1's a good one. It's a strong trend. Seattle's very good on the road, as you know, as I teach you. They have a very good defense, Seattle, and then Houston's got a very weak defense. So I think Russell Wilson should have a good day, be lighting it up on Houston's defense, and Taylor will be okay, but I don't know that, when you really look at it, Seattle's defense is not bad. It's a strong defense, a strong trend on Seattle. 7.5 cut to 1.5. I like Seattle -1.5. Let's 24-13. How about that for a score? But I do think Russell Wilson is getting better, and the timing, and Coach Pete does not like to be embarrassed. Detroit at Denver. My spread, Denver -7, over under 43. Weak defense, Detroit against strong defense, Denver in the Mile High City. Detroit got their win. I absolutely love Dallas minus. And when I saw this, I just loved it. But Denver -1. I think Denver 31-0, something like maybe 31-3. This is where the Lions will fall apart because they got their win. Somehow Minnesota let them drive down the field with a 5-point lead and win the game, which I don't understand how Minnesota took the lead. First of all, how they didn't do anything in the first half, but they took the lead and then they gave it up. So I just don't see Detroit at Denver at the Mile High. It'll probably be cold. Detroit doesn't like the cold. They play in a little dome. Denver -1. They need the game. The whole AFC West needs the game. So because of that, I like Denver -1. Like I say, I think it'll be a slaughter. 43. Again, weak defense, Detroit. So I'm trying my college weak defense, strong defense. Really no trend on the game as far as Denver. They're not a great home favorite. Detroit, we know, is a great bet against team. They're getting better as on the road dog. They've been covering a couple games where you couldn't bet against them, but overall, I think Denver -1. They got to win the game. San Diego -10 over the Giants. The Giants are an under team. The San Diego is an even team. They're not an A or a B. They're an even team. Over under 43.5. San Diego has a weak defense, even with Bozo, which really makes no sense. Huge trend is on the Giants. Not only are the Giants the best road dog in the league, San Diego is the worst home favorite in the league. So you have those trends. Now, my favorite, Jake Frum, is, I believe, the quarterback. And if he is, I am betting heavy on the Giants. Howard, how the hell can you bet? Because I'm telling you, I watched this guy against Florida, against Alabama in the championship game. The guy's a fucking winner. Jake Fromm will light it up. If Daniel Jones can light it up on the Giants, believe me, Jake Fromm can. And this is to fuck you, Buffalo, because Buffalo had him and decided to play Josh Allen, who is slowly becoming garbage. And then they don't have Jake Fromm, and now he's going to light it up for the Giants. I'd like to watch him in college to make my mind up. And then when I see him in college, I go, okay, here we go. This is why I say I like him and why I don't like Tagliabue and I don't like Lawrence, is watching him in big games in college. Lawrence got hammered against Ohio State both years, didn't do shit against Alabama, didn't do shit against LSU. Tagliabue only did good against New Mexico State and Texas State. When he had to play LSU, Joe Burrow killed him. Ohio State killed him. Clemson killed him. I mean, he did nothing in the big games, Tagliabue, right? He got sacked. He'd get hurt. Georgia would beat him. So he wouldn't do much in the big games. And that's why I am negative, because now you're playing in the pros and these little 5-yard passes, your receivers are not wide open, going to run 80 yards for touchdowns. Keep that in mind. So if Fromm is the back, I love the Giants. Even though I haven't seen them, I love the Giants with Fromm. If Jones, I don't think Jones is doubtful. And then the guy last week got a concussion. So that's why they're thinking of starting Fromm, who I didn't even know was not on Buffalo anymore. So here's how I find out. I think that spread's way too high. I love the Giants in 16 with Fromm in the game. I'm scared of Fromm. He's not Fields. He's not Lawrence. He's actually a good quarterback, and you'll see that. Tampa Bay, 3 against Buffalo. Over under 53. You got the A team Tampa, the B sliding to an E Buffalo. My line is 6. Here's where I have an argument with people that say you can't tease 0. Oh, I can't tease a -3 to +3. Well, here's the example. Tampa should be a 6-point favorite in this game. They're at home. Buffalo is not beating anybody good all year except for Kansas City when they were playing like shit. Here you got Tampa Bay now in their playoff run. Gronkowski's playing. The only guy missing is Antonio Brown. You got Larry David playing on defense. You got Winfield back. You got pretty much back, and they're playing. What was Tampa last week? They played a pretty good team. They pounded Atlanta 30-17. Couldn't be stopped. I don't see, but so this spread's really a 6 down to even, but it's a 3. I get 3 points in Tampa at home. That's why I'm excited about it. Over under a 53. Buffalo apparently has a strong defense, not for Tom Brady, but Tampa's defense it's hard because they've had the injuries. So they let up more points now when the injuries are back. That's why you can't look at 3 weeks of stats. You look at the whole season of stats and you go, here's, because you got injuries that are included. This is the NFL, and everybody but the quarterback who wears a dress gets injured in the game. So you got to be very careful about that. Over under a 53, 30-13 Tampa. How about that for a number? I like Tampa +3 at home against the weak Buffalo team. Yes, they're a weak Buffalo team. Josh Allen's going to try to run, and guess what? He ain't going to do shit on Sue, on Pierre-Paul, on David. They are going to bottle him up. They're going to blitz him. They're not going to let him lay back, and he does not know how to handle a blitz. He's going to get sacked 5 times, 2 picks. A Josh Allen game and a big game. He's going to fold like he always does. Brady's Brady. He gets the win. Get the 3. So you get 3 in Tampa at home, and then Buffalo is not in their class. Chicago and Green Bay. My friend Todd tells me that Fields is starting. Green Bay is 12.5. Over under 43.5. Green Bay, very strong defense. I think their running back played a little last week. I know the receiver played Adams. So if you got the running back, and Rodgers is playing, and Jordan Love's out with COVID, so it's perfect. Fields, no, they're a W team with Fields. They're probably a Z team. With Dalton, they're a W team, which means, and you got Khalif Mack out. Right, so the best linebacker in the game's out. You got Justin Fields, so that's no points. You got Green Bay with a good defense at home. If we look at the trend, Green Bay's won the last 5. So Green Bay plays the Bears very good, especially at home with Fields. I like Green Bay. Try to get it in before. Just as logical to keep it under 7. So you get 6.5. 40-14 this game. I don't even know if they'll get 14. 40-10. I think Green Bay gets a couple of picks. Fields has bad ribs. He'll probably get hurt. The only problem is if Dalton comes in and puts up a few points. Otherwise, if Fields with the bad ribs plays, he's not going to last the game probably. Over under 43.5. Green Bay with a strong defense. The Bears will not score. Boy, it's hard. Probably an under because Rodgers really milks that clock. If you ever watch him, they're up 10, 15 points, and all of a sudden it's the whole 40-second clock. Rodgers is hiking it at 1, just running the clock out. So if they don't get it by the third quarter, they're not going over. I just don't see the Bears doing anything. I think it'll be, maybe they'll get 10. Green Bay, at least in the 30s, let's say. Let's say 35 to 10 at the best. So take Green Bay, lay the 6.5. It's a Green Bay trend. Green Bay's good at home. The Bears without Khalil Mack. It's all Green Bay here. I wondered why the 12.5. My initial line was 7 with Andy Dalton, so 12.5 doesn't surprise me. And the last one, the Rams are an even playing Arizona, who's an A. My line was Arizona -7, but yet here Arizona's only -2.5. LA's won the last 4 in Arizona. Arizona is a horrible home team. They are a horrible home favorite. The Rams are a decent road dog, nothing special. But in the series, the Rams have won the last 4 in Arizona, and that's with Jared Goff, and that's with Murray on Arizona. Arizona has a strong D. They got James Conner running. I think the game's an under with Conner. I don't think they 52, 24-20 is the score I'm thinking. My line was Arizona -7, so I think the line's low. I don't trust Stafford. I think it'll be a defensive game, though. I think Arizona's defense keeps it close. And the Rams have won the last 4 in Arizona, so I think the Rams, again, they play them twice a year, and I believe Arizona beat them in L.A., and it's very hard to beat good teams twice in a row. LA's back's against the wall. They have to win. Arizona can lose. They're winning their division, so they go, we'll make the playoffs. And I think they're the 1 seed with Green Bay. There's Tampa Bay. Dallas is a step below. So teams that need to win, backs against the wall. Let's go through that. Pittsburgh, Minnie. Pittsburgh has to win. Minnie's out of it. Oakland, KC. Both of them need to win, but it's at KC. And just because you need to win, the better team wins. So you must, like, Oakland's not good. Kansas City needs to win. So I like Kansas City. New Orleans and the Jets both suck. Frisco, Cincinnati. Frisco, they kind of are there. They're in for the second wild. Oh, actually, there's 3 wild cards. So, yeah, they need it. Cincinnati needs it. They're still going after Baltimore. With Cincinnati, again, it's all up to Burrow's finger. Burrow plays. I like Burrow as the dog. If he doesn't, it's an under. But Cincy needs the game. They both do. Jacksonville, Tennessee. Tennessee isn't critical because they're winning their division, but they need it for the 1 seed. But their back's not against the wall like Indy is, but Indy's off this week. Baltimore, Cleveland, both teams back against the wall. Both teams need it. Cleveland probably worse than Baltimore because they're further behind. But Baltimore has won the last 4. This game will be very close. Field goal game. Tease the dog. Atlanta, Carolina. Carolina kind of needs it, but they're 5-5. I mean, I think both teams have 4 or 5 wins. These are horrible teams. The fact they need to win doesn't mean anything. They don't know how. They're not good. So you ignore that they mathematically need it, but they're just not there. Dallas, Washington, both teams need the game. Washington's back's against the wall more than Dallas because they're a couple games behind, but Dallas needs it, and this is a bitter rivalry. Look for Dallas to play. Seattle and Houston, both teams, neither team have it. Detroit, Denver. Denver's back's against the wall. They must win. The Giants and San Diego. San Diego must win. But with Jake Frum, I like the Giants. The Giants, I think, have a chance, mathematical, but they suck. A team that's not 500 and they need to win, you can't bet on them. That's what you got to look at. You got to understand. Even though they need to win, they suck, and they therefore won't win just because they need it. Keep that in mind. That's a critical point. Buffalo, Tampa. Buffalo's back's against the wall, but they just got their ass kicked by New England, and they realize they're not very good. Tampa's needs to win because they want to be the 1 seed, and with Tom Brady, they're not going to lose at home. Chicago, Green Bay. Chicago's out. Green Bay needs it, but not back against the wall. They're comfortably in front with Minnesota losing to the Lions. The Bears suck. Green Bay's really playing for the 1 seed, but they beat Arizona, and I think they beat Tampa. I don't remember on that game, but so Green Bay, they need it, but it's not do or die. And then the Rams, Arizona, the Rams backs against the wall. They must win the game to have any hope of catching Arizona to win the division. As far as the playoffs, both are pretty comfortable in there. The Rams at 8 wins. The closest is, I think, 6. And Arizona has like 10 wins. So they're very comfortable. They're not, we need the game. So those are your games where you need it. So I think Pitt, very live dog. I always get this question, where's the upset? So Pitt's a live dog. Oakland, I think, is a live dog at 15.5, but I like Kansas City. The Frisco, Cincinnati, whoever's the dog's live, unless Burrow is out, and then who's the backup? But if Burrow plays, then Cincy's definitely a live dog. Baltimore, Cleveland. Baltimore's very live dog there. Carolina, Atlanta. Atlanta's a very live dog. Dallas, Washington. Washington's a live dog, but I do like Dallas. Seattle, Houston. I like Seattle. Denver, Detroit. All Denver. San Diego, the Giants. The Giants are a live dog with Jake Frum. Buffalo, Tampa. It's all Tampa. Chicago, Green Bay is all Green Bay. And Arizona, the Rams. The Rams are a very live dog. They play well in Arizona. Enough said. The technical trends are Pittsburgh, KC 7-8, 7-1 against Oakland. Tennessee's got a big trend over Jacksonville. They won the last 4. Baltimore's won the last 4 against Cleveland, a nice trend. Atlanta's the trend in the Carolina game. Atlanta is 6-2 against Carolina. Washington won the last 2, but without Prescott. The trend really is Dallas as a good road favorite, and Washington's a weak home dog. Seattle's a big trend against Houston as a really strong road favorite, and Russell Wilson's looking more human. No trend in Detroit, Denver. The Giants are a huge trend over San Diego. Tampa's a okay trend over Buffalo. Nothing special. Green Bay has a huge trend over the Bears, winning the last 5. Strong home favorite. The Bears are weak as a road dog, and Khalil Mack's out, which is why you're getting 12.5, right? See, that's my point. Green Bay's a 7-point favorite. Normally, everybody's healthy. Fields not playing. You got Mack out and Fields playing, so now the line did not move for the money. It moved for the who's playing. And that, and again, but the real underlying point is to get the betting even. At 7, everybody bets Green Bay. At 12.5, maybe I'll take the Bears. The Bears have their own action. Careful, though. There's a lot of mafia in Chicago. If the game gets 14.5, I guarantee you Chicago's going to cover that. There'll be so many holding penalties, you don't know what you'll be watching. And then the Rams, Arizona, we've talked about the trend is the Rams winning the last 4. And Arizona being a lousy home favorite. I can't understand it. That's basically it. Indy needs the game, but they're not playing. I hate these buys because you missed some really good teams that are hot, and you can't play them because they're off. So I think we got it. Over-unders. I think the Jets and New Orleans under. Baltimore, Cleveland under. Dallas, Washington possibly over. Detroit, Denver, I think under. The Giants, San Diego. I think over with Frum. Buffalo, Tampa, I think could be over with Brady, but he's going to do it by himself. Green Bay, Chicago, probably an under, and the Rams, Arizona, definitely under 52. Hey, Todd, you're welcome. I'll be in touch about the bowl picks. Go Army, yeah. It should be on the site already. $100 gets you all of them, including the playoffs. Georgia beating Alabama in the finals. Then we'll go from there. But the bowl is really this week's just Army Navy. Go Army, beat Navy. I loved it. I had Army as a dog against Air Force. I had Army as a dog against Liberty, and they win the games. That's what I love about Army. They win the games straight up. You don't even need the points when they're dogs. That's what I do. Is I find the Armies. The pros, I'm finally starting to get vision because I'm finally seeing the teams are finally, there's been so many injuries that it's like, how do I play the team? I didn't know. Seattle, Russell Wilson goes down. I should have locked him. Normally, I would have had the lock of the year last week. Frisco, 3 points over Seattle at home, and Cincinnati, 2.5 over San Diego. My 2 favorite dogs, and I don't even play. I think I played San Diego over. And I didn't even play Frisco Seattle because I couldn't trust because Russell Wilson's look so bad. Normally, those are my dogs. I love those dogs. Frisco, San Diego, or Seattle, San Diego, because of the quarterback and everything. So that's now I'm finally seeing it. Like here, Pitt in Minnesota, no problem with Pitt. Minnie sucks. Kirk Cousins, oh my God, he's pathetic. KC's starting to roll. Tennessee should handle a weak Jacksonville. Baltimore, Cleveland, take the dog, take the under. It's all I'm getting a much stronger vibe on it. I need to feel the game. It's not just mathematics. I'm not a technical guy who just feels it. I don't just look at the numbers and, there's the trend, let's bet it. I don't do that. And keep in mind, if you see a teaser that's -3 and you can get +3 or +3.5 or +4, bet it. There is no teaser law, and I am the teaser king. And I'm telling you, You can go from 2 to 4 all day. You can go from 3.5 to 2.5. If you don't want to worry about the 3, you can do that. There is no teaser law, and I don't see any. I've never had an issue. You watch Tampa Bay +3. I have no issue getting Tampa and 3 at home. If you don't bet it because you're scared to go 0, then you shouldn't be betting. Also, feel the game. If you think a team's going to win by 20 and they're laying 10 and you got to go to 4, but it's over 3 and you don't bet it, then you're just missing out on a good bet. I mean, that's all you're doing. And there's no eye test because injuries and because who they play changes every week. So the Raiders were home against Washington are now at KC. It's a whole different eye test. How do they match up? It's the matchup of the teams. That's why I look at KC 7-1 against Oakland. That's the matchup. KC beats them. There you go. Now you look at the spread and make sure it's not too much, but that's what you're looking for. I think I covered the pros. We got Army. We got the Bulls coming up the following week. Keep in mind who needs the game. Keep in mind the injuries and the stupid COVID crap that who gets COVID on Saturday night fucks us up because I'm giving you games. I don't want to wait for the line to move and get fucked on the line movement. So I try to give you the games early, and then here comes a COVID. So you got to be prepared to kind of hedge a little bit. Any idea in Money Heist what the professor gave to Raphael in the note? I think he just said it's the Viking gold, and there you go. For you people that don't know, you need to watch Money Heist. It's a great show. One of the best I've ever seen. I love the professor. He reminds me of me. He's a chess player. I don't play a lot of chess, but I think very very problem-solving, contingency and stuff like that. So it's a great show. Please watch it. It's on Netflix. And we can talk about it. Any questions or comments on that, I'd love to talk. Outside of that, I think you got your picks. Any questions or comments, anything on money management, on betting units, build your bankroll, don't let one game beat you. We got to get over the Georgia-Alabama game. It's a lesson to be learned. We lost on it. Okay, move on. We got games this week. We got Pitt. We got Tampa, and we don't know what's going to happen. We can only assume. So you can't overbet it. You can't. It's what you can afford to lose to build your bankroll. And if the game loses, it loses. You move on, and you hope it's a good pick. Like we hope Pitt covers the 9, and it could lose, and we lose. But you've got to understand that, just like the stocks, just like talk about your currency getting fucked by inflation. You're losing money on that without even doing anything, just by holding it. Gold and silver, you want to buy as much as you can. Bitcoin, you got to be careful with because it's really nothing. There's no tangible asset to it. There's no value in it. It's just a pyramid scheme, so be careful. If you're in Bitcoin at 10,000 an ounce and it's at 40 now, take your profit and run just like you would in football, like you would in poker, like you would in any gambling activity, even in stocks. If you bet a stock, you take Microsoft at 20 and it's up to 50, sell it, take your profit. It's not going to keep going. It's going to profit take. It's going to go down. Gold is being price fixed. Buy it. It's going to go up. They can't keep printing forever. You've got to trust. Don't trust me, but you can trust me. I bought it. That's what's going to happen, and I know it. That's my background. Also, I'm skilled in economics. That's what has to happen because the value of the money is deteriorating because they keep printing it. The more they print, the less it's worth. That means gold has to go up because you're killing the value of the money, which means you need more money to buy the same ounce of gold. So it's not even a thought. It's not even. Maybe it's for sure because you keep printing the money. The difference is they're putting all the money into the stock market and all the Fed guys are making a fortune on insider trading, which is highly illegal. Hopefully they'll all go to jail. So anyway, that's the first money heist when they go into the the bank and print money. That was beautiful. The gold's even better. It's such a beautiful, the second season of it. I don't know why they killed Tokyo. I still have a hard time with that one. But anyway, it's a lovely show. Highly recommend it, especially over the holidays. Maybe, I don't know, watch the end of season 1 and then pick it up in the middle. Well, you got to watch the first few season 3s so you know what's going on, and then get to season 5 and watch all that. It's really, really good. But it's a highly recommended show, and I don't know what to put it at. It's a Lord of the Rings classic type of thing. I don't know why they're not doing a third episode. A third robbery would have been nice, because now you love all the characters and you're taking it off. Like, what are you doing? Anything else? Anything anybody wants to talk about, please? You've got my background: gold, stocks, baseball cards, Bitcoin, money heist, football. Feel free. I'm not versed in everything, but I am versed in those. Anything else? I'm going to go hit the pool and we're done. Let me know, guys. Anything you want. That's why I'm doing the show live. Is you can ask me questions, and believe me, you can't ask handicappers questions too often. They don't want to take it. They don't want to admit that they don't know what they're doing. That's why I'm confident enough, because I know what I'm doing, to talk to you guys and fire away. Todd is a friend and a customer, and I'm helping him. People want me to teach a class. That's what I'm trying to do here, and we can do that. I'm more than happy if you guys want. We can walk you through it. I try to walk you through it now when I go through. Pick the spread pick your own spread, pick your own score. Those are critical thinking, that how you bet on the games. That's very critical. The other is the money, the bankroll, and what you can afford to win and lose, and then how to bet it. So in Money Heist, they print all this money, $1 billion in euros, right? At the Bank of Spain, they go in and they just print the money. And then the professor goes at the end, well, the hardest part now is keeping it and staying out of jail. And so that's what I'm saying. So here's how you do it. But now we got to win. And then how do you keep your money and build on it? And that's the bankroll and the money management part of it. Excuse me. So you build your money, and that's really the critical part of it. Anyway, buy your gold and silver, get out of Bitcoin, get out of the stock market. It's going to crash. The whole thing's Evergrande, the Chinese housing development fraud scam that's going bankrupt. It's going to cause a chain reaction. In January, gold's going to go through the roof, and the stock market's going to crash. I'm telling you now, because I want to protect my family here, to be careful of what's going on. Do not be blind and go, oh, the stock market's just going to keep going because the Fed's the one putting the money in. It's not going up because the companies are more profitable. You got unemployment. You've got big problems in the economy. So just please be careful. If you can't afford gold, buy silver. It's going to go through the roof. The same. Very short supply, and they need it for these electric car batteries, and it's money. So keep all that in mind. If you own baseball cards, try to get limited ones. Try to get gem mint condition. Try to buy PSA 10s. Try to buy star players like a Brady, like a Jordan, like a Mickey Mantle. Do not buy these don't go buying Lamar Jackson rookie cards. You're not going to. In a few years, nobody's going to know who he is. You can buy Mahomes, but just stick to Brady, stick to Michael Jordan, and stick to Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, or players like that, and stick to Brady, Montana, Rice, and those guys. When will you be back online, sir? Don't call me sir. You can call me professor. Saturday or next week to go over pro and college. Well, Saturday I can. I mean, if you want me, I can come on. Saturday is just Army Navy. I'm giving you Army now. I can come on. I'll come on Sunday morning for the pros. I could come on Saturday. I don't know about morning, just if I see line movements. It's really, I've given you the pros. So now it's, oh, wait, Green Bay went to 16, Okay, so I want to let you know that. You let me know Fields is out. Well, let's say Burrow is out. I want to tell you that. You probably will know it, but not everybody knows it, or other injuries, or, you know, Kyler Murray, he finally played, or things like that, that I want to keep you abreast of the line movements and then why the line moves. The over under, I find a lot with a lot of these teams is you can't. It's very hard to pick the over. I got them down as weak defense and strong defense. It means a lot in college. I had Pitt Wake Forest over because Wake Forest's defense sucked, but they have a great offense, and Pitt also had a great offense, and the game went over because I'm looking at the weak defense, and I know if they have a good offense and a weak defense, it depends who they play. If they play another strong offense, this game's going over. If they play a team with a real, like Clemson, I think the game went over, but it was still, Clemson was able to score because their defense was so weak. I think the key to all this is a very strong defense. You have a very strong defense, and New England's got the strongest statistically in the NFL. You have a chance. That's where you get your upsets from. That's why I was shocked when Georgia lost, because their defense, I've never seen a defense give up 7 points a game in a whole season in the SEC. I've never seen it. Even when Alabama in their heyday never gave up 7 a game. So, I mean, that's why I think that Alabama-Georgia game, and I apologize for talking about it again. I know people are upset. That's why it was fixed, because Alabama puts up 41. Nobody put up more than 10 on Georgia in the whole freaking year. Florida, Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas. They shut fucking Arkansas out, who puts up 35, 40 a game. And you're telling me they shut them out and Alabama's going to put up 41 in a game that's not fixed? I mean, that's where you got to look at everything and go, no, something smells wrong here. And it was to get Alabama in. And now I understand that. I didn't before, and I apologize because I shouldn't miss that. But even the professor makes mistakes, and the gang's always there for him. So all we can do is move on. But Todd, if you want, just send me an email, and I can come on. But I mean, I'm fine to come on whenever, but I just want to have something to talk about. So I mean, I could come on. I can come on Saturday. We can have a talk. We'll keep it open mic and whatever. I'll think of things I can teach you guys, but not a problem. Anybody else, please feel free. Ask the professor. Yes, we're stealing the gold out of the Bank of Spain. That's what we're going to do, only we're doing it with football bets. We're not as creative to actually break in. I don't know. Anything else, let me know. I'll stay on a few more minutes. I like this live. I'm enjoying it. I can answer, Todd can ask me questions and you guys can hear it. I think is very key for you that. So money manage, bet what you can afford to lose. And the goal is to build your bankroll, and don't worry about going over zero, and don't look at an eye test. Is Russell Wilson back? I don't know. He wasn't back against Washington. They put it up against the Niners, who aren't very strong. So I don't know. I hope he is, and then I can feel more comfortable. But the stats will speak, because then they'll start scoring more, and then I'll go, oh, they're a better team. All right, everybody. Well, have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining the class, and I hope I educated you. I'm trying to. That's my whole focus here, is to teach. I sell my picks, and I do that, but really it's all to help. And whatever I can do to help people and educate them, and then you can use this skill in other areas of your life. That's what I try to do. All right, everybody. Well, have a great night. I guess I'll come on Saturday, and if there's people on, probably Saturday, 10, 11 o'clock, and then go about our days. All right. Have a great day, and thank you for watching, and good luck. I hope so we got Pittsburgh tomorrow. You can play with Tampa, and if Jake Frum plays, I've already played the Giants because Jake Frum. I'm that confident he's that good, and he's going to light it up. You'll see. All right, everybody, have a great day. www.teaserking.com, and ask questions. The college, $100 for all the bowls and playoffs. So that's about 35, 40 games, and I can see already the lines. I'm going to have a lot of locks because I'm getting the dogs the way I want them. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.